What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Darren. I'm back again at it with another reaction for y'all today. I'm coming with some MCU news from new Rockstar, actually. Not from myself, but from new Rockstar. And I've said it plenty of times in videos that I've made. I've been wondering how people are going to react when Doctor Doom shows up in Avengers Doomsday, or I'm pretty sure he's going to show up in Fantastic Four. But when he shows up and he looks like Tony Stark, and like I've always been wondering what's people's reactions gonna be, and especially like Spider-Man, who was like you know Iron Man was his mentor in the whole MCU process and everything, and gave him his suit and everything and all that. And I've always wondered how will it be when people that know his face see him again, but it's not him. So new Rockstar did a video, and they titled it Doctor Doom versus Peter Parker in Iron Man 4. So they talk about, I guess, what it's going to be like when Spider-Man sees him for the first time and thinks that he is, Tony Stark, and he's not. So, but we're going to go ahead and get into this video, see what new Rockstar talking about. So y'all join me. Let's go.
New Rockstars, I'm Eric Voss, and will the fourth Marvel Studios Spider-Man film deliver the highly anticipated moment when Peter Parker sees the face of his former mentor and asks, Mr. Stark, is that you? And is met with, there is no Stark, only Doom. That's not a Latvian accent. But ever since Robert Downey Jr. was announced as the MCU's Doctor Doom coming in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, we've all been asking whether Downey's version of Doom will emerge first in a Fantastic Four First Steps movie, and really what will happen when Tom Holland's Spider-Man meets this character. In this video, I'm going to break down the latest rumors about Spider-Man 4 and the obscure terms of these studios' contracts that help us pinpoint exactly when this fourth Spider-Man movie must come out. And based on the deal between Sony and Marvel Studios to share the Spider-Man character, logically, which of these upcoming Marvel films this is all likeliest to go down in. Now, we have some amazing Doctor Doom inspired designs, like our new Mask Same Task shirt, available at nerdriot.shop, and some great holiday colors, making it the perfect holiday gift for that special nerd in your life. Grabbing one of these is the best way to support our work here at New Rockstars. Last month, The Hollywood Reporter ran a Hollywood report that the fourth Spider-Man film will be directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, director of Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, and the director previously attached to the fifth Avengers movie, previously titled Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. According to The Hollywood Reporter, screenwriters Chris McKenna and Eric Summers, who wrote the previous three Sony Spider-Man movies, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, are returning to write this fourth movie, and production is set to begin in early 2025. And remember that, because it's going to be an important part of the timeline here. While the deals for Spider-Man 4 are still being finalized, there has been a lot of speculation for what elements from the MCU will appear alongside Tom Holland's Peter Parker in this film. In Homecoming, it was Iron Man, Happy Hogan, and Avengers Tower, and Far From Home, it was Happy Hogan and Nick Fury and Iron Man technology and Skrulls. In Spider-Man No Way Home, it was Happy Hogan again, and that dummy robot, and Doctor Strange and Wong and the Sanctum Sanctorum, and of course the cameo by Charlie Cox, Matt Murdock, Daredevil. Now, it may be unrelated, but many have noticed that Shang-Chi actor Simu Liu posted on social media a post-workout selfie captioned prepping ... side-eye emoji. And yeah, fans are asking a lot of questions. Prepping for what?
Oh, that'd be nice if you see Shang-Chi alongside Spider-Man. That'll be pretty cool right there. That'd be pretty cool.
Simu, is it Shang-Chi 2? Is it Avengers Doomsday? Or is it a team-up with Peter Parker in Spider-Man 4, directed by Simu's past collaborator, Destin Daniel Cretton? Also, anonymous scooper account, My Time to Shine Hello, posted on Monday an unverified claim that Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom will have a role in Spider-Man 4. Another online scooper, Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus, shared.
Yeah, I think that Peter Parker's gonna see him and is just gonna like he's just gonna think it's Peter Parker. He's just gonna be too excited, like I have my mentor back, but it's not his mentor. So, which is crazy. So, I mean, it's gonna be weird seeing it. I keep saying it over and over. I said it in a bunch of videos.
other rumors on a Discord Q&A that Spider-Man 4 might tie more heavily into the events of the Venom films and embrace the cosmic side of the universe as opposed to the street level side of it. That Tom Holland's Peter will get the symbiote suit in the next few years, and that there's a strong possibility that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Peter Parkers will return, and that Spider-Man 4 will feature more symbiotes, but that Tom Holland will not appear in Venom: The Last Dance. So what I just said are unconfirmed rumors, so please take them with a grain of salt. But let's linger for now on this prospect of Tom Holland's Peter Parker meeting Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom sooner than we thought, because we actually know Sony's precise timeline and deadline to get moving on this fourth Spider-Man movie. According to the book MCU: The Reign of Marvel Studios by our colleague Joanna Robinson and Dave Gonzalez and Gavin Edwards, the contract that exists between Sony and Marvel when it comes to producing Spider-Man movies to begin with, after the release of any Spider-Man movie, Sony must start production on the next Spider-Man movie within 3 years and 9 months, and then release that movie in theaters within 5 years and 9 months. Otherwise, the film rights to the Spider-Man character revert to Marvel. And that's just because when it comes to like public
I never knew that. I never knew that. That's pretty good. So Sony's trying to keep in good terms with Marvel, because if Sony loses Spider-Man, then that's their money basically. They done for. I mean, they ain't really got much going on. They release other movies, but that's not their money makers. Spider-Man is their money makers right now. So, and losing that MCU connection, that'll hurt them. But I want to see. I would like to see MCU have full control of Spider-Man. So
publishing and film licensing, courts tend to honor the original publishing rights where this character's IP really originated, which of course was with Stan Lee and Steve Ditko in Marvel's publishing edition back in the early 60s. Now, while Robinson, Gonzalez, and Edwards' book included this in the context of Sony figuring out what to do with Sam Raimi's in-development fourth Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie back in 2010, how they were at the time under a very firm deadline to start production on a new Spider-Man movie in early 2011 based on Spider-Man 3's release date of May 2007, Joanna Robinson actually read from this contract directly while she was doing research for this book back in January 2022 in an episode of NPR's Planet Money podcast.
Here's a part of the Sony Marvel contract. I'm going to read. Sony must commence production on a new Spider-Man film within 3 years, 9 months, and release it within 5 years, 9 months after the release of preceding picture. Boom.
So that tells us that those terms are still in effect to this day. Now, the deal between Sony and Disney has been amended ever since 2014 to share the Spider-Man character in a kind of one-for-one fashion between a solo movie co-produced and co-profited by both Sony and Marvel, movies that will feature an MCU character alongside Peter Parker, and then on the Marvel side of it, a team-up Avengers movie solely produced by Marvel, solely profited by Marvel, that features Peter Parker as a member of that team. Now, you may remember some drama in September 2019, but this deal was extended to cover Spider-Man No Way Home and future Avengers movies like the upcoming Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. But when it comes to Sony's original license to even produce Spider-Man movies to begin with, the original terms of the contract when it came to those time limits remains. Even now, for Sony to firmly honor the terms of their contract and to prove that they still have the rights to produce Spider-Man movies, from the day a Spider-Man film releases, they have 3 years and 9 months to start production on the next Spider-Man film, not just announce a release date or prove that they're developing one, but actually script pages written, cameras begin rolling, actors cast, crew working, sound stages reserved, names on call sheets, production beginning. And they have 5 years and 9 months to release that movie. So that would give them around 2 years to shoot the movie, to edit it, to do any reshoots that are necessary, to do the VFX work on it, to market the movie, and distribute it in cinemas. Now, these specific contract terms apply to live action Spider-Man movies. There may be different contracts in place for animated films like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, for which the whole development and production process is very different than a live action. It takes place over a far longer period of time, and it's less firmly established in animation when the production period begins and when it ends, because different phases of production, different reels of the animation are produced kind of simultaneously or just at different times. Like these animated Spider-Verse movies, these Pixar movies, they take 5 full years to produce at a minimum. There are also less clear contractual terms over how Spider-Man appears in animated television series or streaming series. Those deals tend to be inked case by case. Like the Spectacular Spider-Man series aired its first season on the CW in 2008 and its second season on Disney XD in 2009. On Disney Plus, we've already seen appearances from an animated form of Tom Holland's Peter Parker in an episode of Marvel's What If and the 90s Fox Kids Spider-Man in X-Men 97. And soon we'll be seeing the new Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man series on Disney Plus. At the end of a long day, you want to just flop down in your bed and pass out. But once you know that traditional sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat, it can be hard to get comfy enough to doze off. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning antibacterial bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. The secret to Miracle Made's antibacterial power is that their sheets are infused with silver that prevents bacterial growth. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne, so sleeping on Miracle Made sheets is good for your skin too. The fabric was inspired by NASA, so it's also thermoregulating. That means you'll sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. Plus, these sheets are crazy comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands. Go to trymiracle.com/newrockstars to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code NEWROCKSTARS at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/newrockstars and use the code NEWROCKSTARS to claim your free
Not my
three-piece
promo,
towel
but
set
if
and
y'all wanna
save
go ahead
over
and order, y'all can do
40%
that.
off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/newrockstars to treat yourself. And thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. But going by Spider-Man No Way Home's release date of December 17, 2021, Sony must begin production of a 4th Spider-Man film by no later than September 17, 2025. And they must release Spider-Man 4 no later than September 17, 2027. So these reports that we're hearing that Sony is aiming for an early 2025 production start date make a lot of sense. With a summer 2027 release deadline, they don't want to take any chances, considering the numerous delays that Marvel movies often run into, from development hell to actor or director drama, and then really just the compounded layers of complicated interconnectivity among the
That too, and they also got to follow the timeline of the MCU too. So if that movie don't come out, then you'll kind of mess up the timeline of what's going on, and the chronological order of things that happen. So, I mean, that's why you definitely have to have the movie, especially if it's not in, Sony's the one doing it and Disney's not, not the main people doing it. So you got to actually, so they have to give them a deadline to make sure that everything's done. So, I understand what Marvel is doing and Disney's doing, because, anything can happen. Anything can go wrong and movie get delayed or anything. So they want them to make sure the script, everything, actors, everything is in place. I understand that.
Narratives of these films that make certain elements of Peter Parker's story logically possible or logically impossible. Sometimes a new Disney Plus series will come out that the people working on Spider-Man 4 have nothing to do with, and now they have to be responsible for as they work on a new draft of their film. Now, it is possible that Sony could hit a July 2026 release for Spider-Man 4 or a December 2026 release, but at the end of it all, they definitely cannot release it later than September 2027. And we must consider that Sony is releasing this Spider-Man film right when Marvel Studios is going to be benefiting from their side of the Spider-Man deal.
I think it's going to be released after Doomsday, in between Doomsday and Secret Wars. I think that's when the best time is to release Spider-Man, I believe. And I think that's what they're going to do.
The addendum that they agreed to since 2014 and then again in 2019, and showcasing Peter Parker in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Unlike Sony, Marvel can take as long as they want to get these movies exactly as they want them, to wait for all the other stars and collaborators' schedules to line up, which could mean further delaying Avengers Secret Wars or even splitting Secret Wars into 2 films that release in 2027 and 2028. I mean, Marvel Studios has done that before, right? So just don't be surprised if we get a scenario where we have Avengers Doomsday Doomsday coming out in summer 2026, and then a Spider-Man 4, and then on the other side of that, Avengers Secret Wars. This is all a way of saying that as the Spider-Man 4 team, that includes Destin Daniel Cretton, Chris McKenna, Eric Summers, and probably now Tom Holland, who has a producer role at this point, as all these guys are working with the Marvel Studios side to develop the Spider-Man 4 story, it probably has to be a version of Peter Parker who's ready for the Secret Wars conflict. That's probably why you're hearing all this goss that we're gonna get a black-suited Spider-Man sooner rather than later, because that's a version of Spider-Man a lot of people remember from the 80s version of the Secret Wars conflict. This is gonna have to be
Yeah, they gotta give him the symbiote suit. They gotta give him in, because that plays a big part in Secret Wars. Was a symbiote suit, him being in that suit. And if they don't do that, then it's gonna mess up everything. So that's the reason why I feel like they should have Venom and everything associated with Spider-Man right now, just to make it accurate. Like, people want the comic book accurate stuff, and people don't want to be thrown off with y'all doing something completely different. Like I say, if you listen to what the consumers and the people that actually know about this stuff, if you listen to them, you will have a good turnout and the movie will be good. Like, just listen to people. That's all you got to do. Don't go do your own thing and mess the whole movie up.
Peter that at any moment could get transported to Battleworld by God Emperor Doom. And it might also inform why Peter Parker could meet Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom in Spider-Man 4. And just to step back in soapbox here, I don't want this to happen like this. I've made a number of videos that my preference for a fourth Spider-Man movie is a street-level story that teams up Peter Parker and Daredevil and Miles Morales to fight Kingpin, as Wilson Fisk is using Stark tech to target and hunt young mutants in Manhattan. Right? That's what I want. I don't need Venom. I don't need the multiverse. I don't need Tobey or Andrew in Spider-Man 4. But, just based on Sony's timeline and Marvel's next 2 to 3 years of releases, I just think this multiverse Dr. Doom plan is a more logical outcome. Now, let's remember the last time Peter looked at the face of Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU in Avengers Endgame.
Hey, Mr. Stark.
Yeah, he was dying when he last saw him. So it's gonna play with him mentally. I really think it is.
Mr. Stark. You won, Mr. Stark. I'm sorry, Tony.
And remember, this was only minutes after Tony thought Peter was dead forever and got to emotionally give the kid a big ol' hug.
Do you remember when we were in space? Doctor Strange was there, right? And then he started doing the yellow sparkly thing that he does all the time. What are you doing? Oh, this is nice.
And this was after several years of remembering Peter in the form of the Stark internship photo that they took, which Tony kept on his shelf in Avengers Endgame, and it was this memory that inspired Tony to give the whole inverted Mobius strip experiment another go. Recently in Deadpool and Wolverine, we saw that same photo tucked behind a Hasbro Iron Man 2 toy helmet, the same kind that Peter Parker as a 9-year-old wore at the Stark Expo in Queens in the second Iron Man film when Tony saved him. Kevin Feige and Tom Holland later retroactively confirmed that kid was a young Peter Parker, and this toy helmet in Deadpool and Wolverine confirmed it as canon in an MCU scene. And yes, this shot in Deadpool and Wolverine perfectly covered Tom Holland in the photo, because Marvel Studios cannot show Peter Parker in one of their movies unless it is one of these special contractual appearances in Avengers films, per the 2014 and 2019 contract addendums. So what happens now when Peter meets Victor Von Doom, when that Victor removes his mask and it's the same face as his beloved mentor? Do we get a callback to this Peter's final words to Tony? Remember when he was like, "We won, and you did it, sir, you did it." And Victor could now say, "I did it, I won." Or does this Dr. Doom put a spin on Tony's posthumous message to Peter Parker in Spider-Man Far From Home, and Victor could now say, "Even dead, I'm the hero"? I think one rule that Sony definitely is going to live by is the fact that No Way Home ended with Doctor Strange's memory wipe spell, the runes of Kof Call, altering reality so that no one remembers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. This Peter Parker has the burden and the benefit of being anonymous. And what is the scariest thing that an anonymous Peter Parker could run into than a familiar face who knows who he is coming back from the grave? Because that whole rule would only apply to beings within the reality of the 616 MCU sacred timeline. Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom comes from a whole other reality unaffected by that spell. Most likely the same reality of Fantastic Four First Steps. It's very possible that Downey's Dr. Doom is one villain who knows the cosmic truth that Spider-Man equals Peter Parker. I've speculated based on the San Diego Comic-Con
That's gonna be crazy if he knows who he is and the spell, because like the spell, like you said, the spell took away any knowledge of anyone knowing who Peter Parker is. So that would be crazy if Doctor Doom does know who he is and everything and tries to use that against him. So that'll be nuts.
Fantastic fan art showing the map of the alternate universe Manhattan in the Fantastic Four movie randomly singles out a New York Flatiron building, which could imply the existence of a Daily Bugle in that world, and therefore the existence of a Spider-Man in that world, who would be a frequent ally of the Fantastic Four of that universe, as Spider-Man frequently was in the early 60s comics. So, does Doom know?
That would be pretty cool if there was an Iron Man. I mean, not an Iron Man, but a Spider Man in that universe. But it that would be cool though. That I think that would be cool if they explain that, because in the comic books, Spider Man did help them a lot.
Who Spider-Man is? Yeah, I think he does. And I won't be surprised if Spider-Man 4 ends with a post-credit scene that shows Peter turning around to see the glow of a rectangular Doctor Doom time portal, and for Doom to take off his mask and say something that's gonna scare the shit out of us. Maybe something as simple as, "Hello, Peter." I'm gonna work on my Latvian accent over the next couple years, bear with me. But comment down below with your thoughts on this theory. Follow me at EA Boss. Subscribe to all 3 channels in the New Rockstars network for breakdowns and news coverage of everything you love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Oh man, it's gonna be crazy. I don't like. It's just gonna be crazy. Like I said, not even just Tony Parker. I said Tony. I keep saying Tony Parker. Sorry about that, y'all. I mean, just seeing Peter Parker and him going to see Tony Stark again, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be in a post credit scene. A very, 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 very important post credit scene that's gonna be in the movie, and you're gonna be able to see his reaction to it, which I think is everybody's gonna be shocked once they see that reaction. I mean, I'm probably even gonna be shocked. I'm gonna try to stay away from everything off the internet. So, but man, and then you got everybody else too that didn't seen his face. Everybody else that was close to him, seeing his face. And what about Pepper? Like, I didn't think about that either. Pepper Potts and his daughter and all this, and they see this man that looks like him, and it's not him. So it's gonna be crazy. I mean, I don't even know how they're gonna pull this off. I don't know how Marvel gonna pull this off or anything, but you know, like I said, just do it right. Just do the film right, and it'll make money, and people will go see it. Because like I said, I've never missed a Marvel movie. I watched every single one in the movie theaters, and everybody knows that I'm a big Marvel fan. If you look around my neck, I literally have an Infinity Gauntlet. Everything iced out Infinity Gauntlet. So, I mean, I watch a lot of Marvel stuff. So even the repeat stuff that come on TV, everything. So I watch it. But y'all let me know what y'all think. And thanks to New Rockstar for actually making a video about it, because I've talked about it plenty of times in other videos. And make sure y'all go check their page out and everything. And y'all holla at your boy. Peace out. Y'all have a good day.